Hi people, my name is Chris. Today I have another beginner's instrument to test. Let's take a look at what the Tama Stagestar can do. For quite a long time the Imperial Star was the entry-level instrument in the Tama drums portfolio. With the Stagestar, Tama has introduced a new entry-level complete set this year. However, the Imperial Star set is still available. The Stagestar is fully equipped, which means you get 5 drums, a hardware set and 2 cymbals. It even comes with a drum stool. All of this is delivered in 2 rather heavy packages. The sizes of our test kit are 20 by 16 bass drum, 10 by 7 and 12 by 8 toms and a 14 by 13 floor tom. Also included is a 14 by 5.5 snare. The shells are made of poplar wood and are covered on the outside with a slightly shimmering Black Knight sparkle wrap. A set in these sizes is for example suitable for older children who are starting to play drums. There's nothing to complain about it in terms of the workmanship of the shells. There are no defects on the edges or loose pieces. I have to admit that the quality of workmanship has improved a lot in recent years, especially in the lower price segment. Out of the 5 drums, the floor tom and the bass drum still need to be fitted with heads. Only on the bass drum are both heads dampened with a ring and the snare has the usual coating on the better head. Let's take a look at the hardware. The 2 small toms are attached to a fairly flexible tom holder on the bass drum. To fix the drum to the holder you turn a screw which then presses on the holder. This type of attachment is quite rudimentary but is widely used on inexpensive drums. 3 legs are included for the floor tom. While the snare and bass drum each have 8 tuning screws per side, the tom heads are tightened with 6 screws per side. With the Stagestar there's only one cymbal stand included, which can be extended as a boom stand. Many of you will know that in addition to the hi-hat, there's usually a crash and a ride cymbal on the drum set. The Stagestar only has a crash ride cymbal included. So if you want to add more later, you will need to invest further, just like with the heads. The snare stand feels robust and does a good job for starters. The spring suspension of the hi-hat machine is not adjustable and the legs cannot be rotated, but it has enough resistance when played with the foot and feels stable. The bass drum pedal with double chain drive and felt beater also runs smoothly. The angle of the beater and the spring tension can be adjusted. So overall the Stagestar hardware is good enough for practicing for the first few years. The height of the drum stool can be adjusted with a spindle, but I find the seat quite hard and the locking mechanism comes loose after a short time. The set also includes 2 minor cymbal models made of sheet brass, an 18-inch crash ride and a 14-inch hi-hat. They are not too heavy in terms of weight and sound quite soft, in other words not so sharp in the ear. I feel that they are absolutely adequate for getting started and playing your first beats. At the end of the video I have also recorded sound files with 2 of my B20 cymbals for comparison. Okay, let's get to the sound files. I will start with the factory setup. That means the bass drum is unported, so there's no hole in the resonant head and the whole set is tuned in a mid-range. I also recorded the toms and the snare with and without damping. Although I play rather moderately, small dents can be seen in the tom heads after short playing time. So for the second take, I put branded heads on the kit. The toms are fitted with 2-ply G2 clear heads from Evans, and the snare has now an UV1 on it. The bass drum sounds, as you will hear next, a little less boomy with a ported head, but it has more attack. So for the Soundfiles with the branded heads, I first tuned the whole set low, and then I tuned the snare in the second take very high, and I also raised the pitch of the toms a little bit. And at the end there's also the mentioned sound file with 2 of my B20 cymbals for comparison. Overall, the Tama Stagestar, as usual with poplar sets, is not particularly loud and sounds a bit boxy, which gets better when you put branded heads on it. So, here comes my conclusion. If you want to start playing drums or are looking for a set for your child, the Tama Stagestar is definitely a worth considering choice, especially if you have to stay far under the €1,000 mark in terms of budget. At the time of this video, the Stagestar 20 cost €675. However, the set only includes one crash ride and not a separate crash and ride cymbal. So I would have liked it better if they had added a third cymbal plus stand instead of the rudimentary drum stool. But the biggest drawback in my opinion are the stock heads, especially on the toms, which simply don't last very long, especially nowadays when heads are so expensive. But with the reasonably priced Remo Encore models, you could upgrade a kit like this without breaking the bank. I'll give you a link to them in the video description. So, that's it for today. If you liked the video, I'm happy about a comment or even a like. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!